Yeah, there's a lot of conflict in me. I'm being lazy in my feelings. That is in terms of they're saying my feelings are saying, don't make a video, don't make a video, be lazy, be lazy. And I'm looking at the reasons to make a video right now, and it's like where I'm trapped within myself. It's like a depression, like an external depression that's gripped my physical body. And it wants me to accept that that's reality, man. It wants me to accept that that's reality. And it's somehow manipulating or using my tiredness to gain control of me. It's like I'm being invaded by an alien flipping species, because I'm sitting here, and ultimately what got me to decide to make the video was like, this isn't normal. This isn't a normal state to be in. But I can appreciate, I've lived there for years, and I appreciate a lot of people would accept it as life. Now, what I'm struggling with, and the title of the video, Do We Need to Suffer as Human Beings, is that for all intensive purposes, me reading life is asking me to accept things like this as just part of every day and get on with them. But for me, in honesty, I don't have much else other than the state I'm in, the place where I find myself on a mental, emotional level where they connect. And right now, where they're connected is with like an external reality that's come on top of me. That's the alien entity depression that I was talking about. And I don't have much else. I don't have people. I don't have friends. I don't have social circles. I'm looking at my life here, and I'm so petrified. I'm scared to do stuff. And not only am I scared to do stuff, it's like I like to take my time with things, you know? If I don't like to rush enjoyment, because then it just spoils the whole thing, and it's just like an addiction. I want to take my time with things I enjoy. And like right now, my life is in a place where I've been for loads of years, but because I have less right now, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing its alienness in all of its want to hide. So the only thing I've really got is this live stream right now to make. And I'm asking the question, do we need to suffer as human beings? And I know for myself I do. That's what life is saying. Right now, Andreas, you need to suffer. I don't know if it's something I've got to learn. All the kids have gone back to school today with the lockdown, and I don't know if I'm going back to school and it's something I have to learn. Why do I need to suffer? Right now, with everything that we have as a potential for humanity, why do I need to suffer? Whose ignorance is standing in the way of me living a life where I don't need to suffer? What system of the past are we still clinging on to whereby we're still allowing humans all over the planet to suffer? What conspiracy, what ignorance have we all come from that's justifying it? Now, the coldness that I'm experiencing isn't too bad at the moment. I have a lot of space because, I don't know, my mental health wants to play games with me and I just don't trust it. And possibly because of the effects of the medication, I have space to get on with things that it's not life, man. It's just like, I'm struggling because the things that I'm talking about, I have to be an adult. I have to pretend like I've got confidence in this society. I have to be able to get up, I have to be able to move, I have to be able to travel. I have to be able to coordinate my mental health, my emotions, my personality appropriately during that travel, so I don't scream, or I don't behave inappropriately because I have a mental health disorder, or just because I feel like it, man. If I wanted to walk around naked, should be my human right. Not that I do. Well, sometimes I would. In all honesty, well, why not? It's a nice day. But being an adult, you have to pretend like you're part of this world, part of this society. Like you can manage finances, like you can manage and coordinate your emotions, your body, your mind, to get from one place to another, to get to that place and to carry out some sort of task and role and job, all while keeping calm, all while dealing with a coldness, a suffocation, a depression that I am experiencing on some levels, and an aloneness in a world where, as social beings, we should have some connection. I shouldn't be isolated like this. And it's beyond my mental health. It's not my mental health that's responsible. It's a spiritual conspiracy. That's what it's down to. That's why I'm alone. And I have to pretend that I'm an adult. But what am I pretending? I'm pretending that I can function within this sickness that is modern day society. That is either a conspiracy in the first instance to enslave humanity, or just the sum total of accumulative fears and ignorances as separate nations coming together, realizing that there's a single world that we're living in, a single world that's been united through capitalism. Communism failed. It's capitalism that's united the world. For whatever reason, that's the governing religion. Now that could have possibly come out of pure ignorance, pure separation, this nation and that nation and the other nation, this culture, that culture, the other culture. Oh, we're coming together as the world. I need this resource. I need that resource. Oh, there's a world war. What side am I going to be on? Oh, we fight wars. We're a conflict, divided species, and wherever we are around the world, whatever history, there's been wars and fighting and armies and weapons and all of this, thousands and thousands of years. And as we've come together with our fears, with our willingness to fight, we've experienced wars, we've experienced greed, and we've created, I don't care if you're Russian and you were communist once upon a time, we have created as a species capitalism as the uniting force. If communism was better, Russia would have won the war and we would have been communists now. But either way, it's not the religion you want to live by. At no point in communism or capitalism does it say be a good person. Every religion, as a result of a god, so to speak, in basic simplicity tells you to be a good person. And if we can all live together with all of our separate religions, I don't think there'd be too much of a problem. But when the uniting algorithm is capitalism, we go to pot. Now, I've got to be an adult within capitalism, a sickness. And it's really grinding on me. It's really affecting my consciousness. I can feel it. And that's what's really affecting me. It's the fact that I'm having to pretend like I'm able to function within something that really doesn't make sense other than personal survival. And even within personal survival, the system creates it as such that nobody has survival on lockdown. Not a soul on this planet anymore. The system has fucked it. So I don't understand anymore what I'm doing in this system. I know I have to function. I know I have to continue with life. I know I have to do all of these things. But where I've done them before and I've felt a certain way about them and I'm having to do them again, and it needs a certain energy, it needs a certain focus, like I'm doing something, like I'm actually, if I made a video the other day and I was basically saying in this world, when you're active, when you're part of this society, it's called the tonal, according to Carlos Castaneda. And my perception of that is like, you've got to be like a samurai. That sort of energy. I'm not going to do it now because it's late, but I can do it. I can recreate the tone in the voice. And it basically sums up the energy of the samurai to this world if you can listen to it. But if you imagine a samurai like, no bollocks, I'm gonna do whatever, that's the attitude you need. But then you start to do stuff. You start to walk, you start to talk to people, you start to interact with them, and you start to set your intention over their intention because of the thing that you're doing, and the thing that you're doing is important to the tonal and everything else that you're in this world. And that thing matters to your life, and your life matters to this. But it's all just a sickness, man. It's like I'm giving pure conscious energy to a mind-numbing sickness that I can't relate to on any level. And I know within it, I'm not able to compartmentalize it at present because I think everything's just got so mixed up. I know if I just carry on and I function, things will be okay, and that's all I'm gonna do. But in the moment, the perception that I'm having of it is a perception that I think underlines all of our consciousness within this world. And it really is like, what the fuck are we doing? I think I'm being given this perception now because I'm gonna get lost in it. I've got spirituality knocking on my door and life knocking on my door, and they want to give me a job in this world, in this sickness. And I think what they're doing is laying the foundation work so that when I go to work, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm interacting within. But it's like half the world, I bet, with this lockdown, are going out of their minds. Like, I can't function anymore. I can't deal with this lockdown. There's nothing to do. There's no peace. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. I don't know about money. I don't know about this. I don't know about the other. And they're all important if you're coming from that place. And there's no chance that you're ever going to get to the place of peace in the moment if you've got worries of survival. And as I said, this system fucks survival in the first instance. Not a soul on this planet, in my opinion, is free from survival. It's like all you needed once upon a time was to know your wits of the land, and that was it. Be a nomad, and what are you going to have stolen? The clothes off your back? You make some more. You'd be an aboriginal about things. Don't even wear clothes. Be a nomad. That was the place for survival, man. That was it. You don't cling to property, because if you cling to property, you get it taken away, and your addiction to that property made you weak. And with nothing, you need a very, very simple system, a very, very simple society to come back from that. But as soon as we became a bit more developed and we started invading with armies, and then you think, well, what happens if another country invades and takes my property? You want to be a nomad. So what if another country take the land, man? Take it. I'm at peace, yeah? No beef. Just let me wander. That's about as much chance as you've got of clinging to your life if you get invaded by another nation. To have no possessions. Well, it doesn't really matter if we kill him or not. And it really is like that basic a level. If you've got a house, it's like, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to take the house. Oh, he's got nothing. Well, And then it comes down to humanity. Are you that ill that you want to kill? Or are you human and you'd spare the life? And in all honesty, most people, I think, would spare the life to a nomad who's got no beef with anybody if all you want is their land. And that's survival. Clinging to nothing. So all of you've got no chance in really jumping from that place of work, go, capitalism, work for survival, but I ain't never gonna achieve it. But because of the way it's structured, it's like you get little plateaus. You think it's going to be like you constantly work and you constantly move up the ladder, but you don't realise that. We don't realise that wherever we are on the ladder, we're fucked. It makes it look like that the people of wealth and the people of power in this world have survival, but they don't. Not even the Aboriginal man anymore, because with our sickness, we've invaded them. Who the fuck is really going to have beef with a nomad? But we've had beef with the way of their lives, man, because they tell stories and they have creation stories that don't match up with ours. We took their land from our sickness, and we took survival from ourselves. Nobody in this world has survival. And survival, in my opinion, is rest. Rest and peace. That's peace, isn't it? Survival is peace. Why would you otherwise work for survival? To gain some peace. Do you want enlightenment? Why do you want enlightenment? What do you want to know? What do you want to do? Even if you rest in doing, even if you rest in war, and war is where you're at, there's a sense of peace that you're doing what you love, man. And that's the peace. So I guess I'm in a place where it's incomprehensible, you know. I never thought I'd be here, but it is the world. It's like as a kid and you look to the world and you see the world, it's like, what do I want to do? What job do I want to do? What do I want to earn? What do I want to buy? What do I want to experience as a kid? Say what? That's a 10-year-old kid. 25 years later, you end up in my seat here. And you look at the world and you're looking at it in brutal honesty. And you're like, now, 10-year-old me, what do I want to do in this world? What do I want to buy? What do I want to experience in this world? Now make your decision. And I think I've got 35 years of programming, 35 years of conditioning to just doing stuff. Like, I've got a big project on. I'm renovating a boat so I can live on it. And I've got to exert myself. I've got to have a work-like mentality because I'm working. Now, I take the way I've worked before, and I'm autistic. I have a very samurai-like attitude to work. Very boom, no rest, work, 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 earn my money. Don't try and undercut my employers, because they own my job, they own my finances. I've got to do my best for the employers in all moments. So that's my conditioning. That's in my body. It's like if I go to do anything and I'm zoning out, I'll go to that attitude to work, and I've got to reprogram myself to this new, correct vision of the world. But it's in me, you know. It's like it's in my body. It's like this is how I function. It's really difficult. Because I know the coldness is true to a certain extent. That's what's getting me. I think that's what it is. So I'm looking at the world, taking into account everything I've just said, my recent life. I'm trying to pinpoint a future. And I think it's cold. The future is cold. And I'm rewinding to that coldness in my life, the work-life mentality, and I'm trying to apply it now. Trying to jump the gun, so to speak. But it's not quite matching up. So I'm having to reprogram the coldness from my past. Because as I said, I had a different perspective of the world to a more correct perspective of the world. But because I got to live in the moment, and I've got all the challenges of the emotions, of depressions, of aloneness, of, you know, worldly problems, money, having to cook for myself, having to travel, having to manage a project, manage my mind, manage my mental health disorder. This it's all going on. No, I think I've shared enough. There's no real point needed to be made on this video. I've sort of got enough back from it just by sharing what I've shared. And I think in the weirdest way, because things are so serious, not sticking to a point and leaving myself in a place of just contemplation of everything I've just said, I've just discussed. I want to say we've just discussed. Leaving myself in a contemplation of all of that. Clarity within the muddledness. I think I could stand a better chance of falling into place instead of getting stuck in a point of reference right now. So thank you for staying with me for half an hour and not falling asleep.